So the Chicago Bears, they just keep making smart moves. And there's several developments that just came out that I'm going to illustrate in today's video. But let's start with this. No secret the Bears needed pass rush help, right? So what did they do? Released DeMarcus Walker, player I really liked. Still developing Austin Booker. I think he's going to be great still, but there were some really huge names available on the free agent market, and the Bears went with Dayo Odeyingbo out of Indianapolis. So there's a question here. First of all, why him? I'll cover that, but also why was this contract so team friendly? Because this guy joined the team for well below what his projected contract value is at. And remember, this is not a bad player. This is a guy who had back-to-back nice seasons for the Colts at 25 years old, 11 sacks, 34 quarterback hits, 6'6", 286 pounds. But this player was slated to get about $18 million a year for about a 4-year contract. That's what he was projected at. But he ended up signing a really team-friendly deal with the Bears at $16 million average. And it's even better than that average. I'm going to talk about that. It's because of how the contract is structured. But it actually ended up being only a 2-year deal with a non-guaranteed third. It's just so team-friendly for an ascending player, a guy that Dennis Allen coveted as defensive coordinator. Poles went out and got him for him. So I'm going to be talking about this in the upcoming week as well. And that's a simple fact that the Bears are set to be $65 million under the cap next year. That's how well these contracts are being structured. So let's concentrate on the players. Let's not fixate on the money for a minute. Poles has us. So let's talk about Dayo. And the thing is with Dayo, he took such a team-friendly contract. And I think part of the reason was that he was sold completely on the Bears being not only serious about winning, but that they would do what's necessary to get it done. So while Odeyingbo noted that there was, and I quote, "nowhere else I'd rather be than Chicago," he did ask the Bears one key question during the free agent process, and that was, what is the vision for this team? And directly from Odeyingbo, the goal is to bring a Lombardi trophy to this city. That was big for me. I want to have a meaningful career. I want to leave a legacy in the NFL. I don't want to just collect checks. I want to be part of a winning culture in a winning organization. So this guy was sold on the Bears like some of these other players that they brought in. He wants to be a part of this. But let's also talk about the player. He aims to achieve that goal through his versatility along the defensive line, and he desires to learn from other veterans in the building like Grady Jarrett. So while the guy from Texas, he's typically viewed as an edge player, he also expresses comfortability and productivity at any position along the defensive front. So that ability that he has to operate in different alignments within a scheme, that's really part of what not only attracted Johnson to him, what not only attracted Allen to him, but also general manager Ryan Poles. And I'm going to talk this through really quick. This is straight from Ryan. If you watch the tape, you understand how disruptive this guy can be both inside and outside. He's 25. He's played a few years in the league, and this goes into our collaboration working well in terms of the front office and the coaching staff. We believe that there's even more room to grow for him, more room for him to continue to get better. I mean, granted, he's got to be productive. He's got to produce. But I really think that this is going to be the key signing. $16 million average is nice, and he fits what Dennis Allen likes in an end like a glove. So I'm going to explain the contract better now. Sorry, this is going to be a lot of numbers, and I'm going to go to this as well. There we go. So as far as this contract, Dayo's 3-year deal with the Bears comes with $32 million guaranteed and $13.5 million in signing bonuses. That's what Courtney Crone is sharing right here. So here's what she had to say specifically. Base salary is a $3 million, 25 fully guaranteed, 15.5 in 26, fully guaranteed on the third day of the league year. And then also $13.5 million in 2027 with $500K workout bonuses each year. Do a $1 million bonus on the 5th day of the 2027 league year. The tail end of that isn't quite so important. So we're going to kind of look here. I noticed something here. Does this mean that if this goes bad, let's say this contract goes bad by this, what Courtney Cronin just illustrated, in 2006, can he be cut before the 3rd day of the league and even have his year 2 not be guaranteed, no longer owed? Because the 3rd year is definitely not guaranteed. Is this the same for the 2nd year? If this is true, and I'm going to look into this, wow, what a team-friendly deal. And outside of this, let's kind of distill it down. Odeyingbo represents an $8 million cap hit. That's all in 2025. And that number inflates to $20.5 million next season because of his salary increase. And that gives the Bears flexibility to get out of the deal entering the 2027 year as well. I'm going to do some research on that 2026 year. And if these last 2 years, like I'm hearing, are not fully guaranteed, this is the team-friendly deal that that's just ridiculous. So this is a lot easier to handle than the alternative. This is a lot easier to handle than what's been circulating as a generic $16 million per season. Sure, that's his average annual salary. Much more complicated than that. The Chicago Bears are taking a leap of faith with Odeyingbo. He hasn't produced like a top shelf pass rusher through 4 seasons so far, but we're looking at a guy who started a career 14 games in 2024, regressed a little bit from 8 sacks in 2023, now down to 3. But still, the Bears really like his fit in Dennis Allen's defense. Big-bodied, long defensive end, can play all 3 downs, doesn't have to come off the field. And it's up to the Chicago Bears coaching staff to really unlock his full potential, his very high upside. And once again, he aims to achieve that goal of being all he can be through his versatility under the defensive line and his desire to learn from veterans in the building. That's guys like newly signed Grady Jarrett. So he's typically used as an edge player, but he expressed his comfortability and productivity at any position up front. Excuse me. And I just think this is a really good signing. I think this is a really good player for us. And what's the biggest story of this offseason, it's not even the players that we're signing. It's this almost diabolical way. It feels almost illegal the way that Ryan Poles and Feinstein are manipulating this cap. Backloading only 1 contract with Jarrett's, but all these other players are front-loaded into the first 2 years, giving the Bears all sorts of flexibility when it's time to actually pay Caleb Williams. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. And also, I'm going to talk about more this week of how Chicago could actually still have $65 million to spend next year. Maybe St. Brown's right that we do have unlimited money. I don't know. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Bear down, and we'll talk tomorrow. See ya.